Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Libra for the month of December. Now do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Libra, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we will be taking a look at this final month of the year, December 2025. Do hope November treated you well. I do hope this month is good for you as well. But with that said, let's go ahead and get all of the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and we'll get right into it for you, Libra. Now, a good thing about this month is this is releasing right as, and this reading is releasing right as the retrograde is coming to a close. And yeah, that is the final retrograde of the year. Then in terms of the astrology, it's pretty, we do have Neptune going direct, which I think is a good thing. Then we got some just basic stuff like, Mars, Mercury moving signs. We've got, new moon, full moon. But like, from my perspective, pretty clear skies ahead, so to speak. And I think, yeah, should be a really exciting month of December. Anyway, all right, I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Libra, energy on the bottom. You have the Ten of Swords. All right, you know that something has to come to a close when you get the Ten of Swords in a reading. Have you figured it out yet, though? Because it's on the bottom of the deck, right? Sometimes the way that I look at this bottom card is it's like maybe what you're missing. Maybe what you're missing or what you don't see. I wonder if you figured it out yet, though, because, yeah, this Ten of Swords, it does indicate that the door is shut, right? The door is strongly shut, and it's not reopening, right? That's the idea of the Ten of Swords. It's a total and complete ending in a situation. But let's go ahead and let's see what this might be around, because here's the other thing about the Ten of Swords. Positive thing is if you flip the card around, right, the swords are coming out of this person. So you can also look at the Ten of Swords as like a card of releasing, right? Releasing something that's painful or releasing something in your life that needs to be released. Another way of looking at that as well. So let's see here, Libra. Definitely like what I see. Okay, definitely taking a quick overview here. You really just have two cards that maybe can be a little dicey with the 10 and the 5 of Swords. But otherwise, you do have the Devil as well. But otherwise, definitely liking this. Now, there is a money situation here that some of you are really pointing your arrow towards. Okay, you're really pointing your arrow towards a money situation. This is going to feel new for you. This is going to be, some of you are maybe taking a new approach to something, but with that, there is an area connected to that, this new money scenario. Maybe it's more income and work. Maybe if you own a business, it's creating new income streams, or maybe accepting an offer for a job that you know will help you support your goals, your financial goals, these sorts of things. But connected to this here is something that you have to give up, okay? So we're really, I think, probably going to talk about that quite a bit, but we'll find out. So right away in the middle, you do have the Ace of Pentacles. Love this card. This is seed energy. This is planting a seed of abundance in your life, seeing it grow, hopefully, into the 10 of Pentacles, right? Can't get to the 10 of Pentacles without first planting that seed, And yeah, this can really be an exciting new, or I should say a strong new beginning in your financial area of life. Now, the other thing about this this Ace of Pentacles is it can be associated with documents, right? So signing off on something, accepting offers, like, think about like first day on the job, right? Like if you've, I'm sure many of you have had first days at careers or jobs. You got to like meet with HR, you got to sign off on the paperwork, got to do the documentation, all that sort of stuff, right? That can kind of be associated with the Ace of Pentacles. It can also talk about like signing off, signing on a lease, right? That's a new beginning, right? Getting into a new house is a new beginning, right? Whether it's a lease or a mortgage or whatever. So you kind of get the idea there with the Ace of Pentacles. I think this is more about seed energy. Like, I think this is more about you want to start something new here. Could it be a house? Maybe you do have let's see here, one real estate card. So I don't know that that's going to be really the thing for Libras at this time. It's something else. Let's try to figure out what that something else might be. first column here, you have the Five of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Judgment card. All right, so we talked about how there's maybe, I'm not sure if you quite see it yet, I'm not sure. You're aware of it maybe with that Ten of Swords on the bottom. Something's got to be like, in fact, something's got to, there's got to be an end to something here, Libra. In fact, I have a feeling that there are a number of things that you realize you might want to close a chapter on, but you're not sure which one to prioritize. Does that make sense? Like, it's almost like, this is definitely an ending of, this is definitely a reading of new beginnings and endings, as you have double tens. Tens represent endings or completions. Aces and the Fool represent new beginnings, right? So, like, it feels like things are wrapping up, but yeah, like two things are happening here at the same time. Like, things are wrapping up in one area of your life, and also you're kind of planting this seed somewhere else. But with this Five of Swords, it can indicate this idea of cutting your losses. Sometimes the way I like to look at the Five and the Ten of Swords is the Five of Swords is a defeat or a loss in life, but it's recoverable, right? It's recoverable. It's not the end of the world, so to speak. Ten of Swords is usually an ending or a loss or a completion where that's it. Like, you're not getting that back, right? Like, if something's closing out, it's not coming back. Five of Swords, different story, right? So as I'm looking at this here, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords, like, it almost feels like there are a couple things here that are wrapping up for you, okay? There are maybe even multiple things here that like, in the background, in the back of your mind, like, you want to cut out or you want to stop. And why do I feel like there's something around prioritization for you? Does that make sense? Like, I think some of you are prioritizing, like, where do I put my energy towards that makes the most sense for me at this time? Okay, you do have this King of Wands, which is somebody who is an incredible leader in business, a really strong leader in business. And this also could be like an entrepreneur. This could be somebody who is really excited about what they do for their career. This is also somebody who's fun to work with, never has a problem finding a job or getting a job or keeping a job because they have all the talent in the world, okay? So we'll earmark that for now because we'll have to see how this like plays into the rest of the reading. But you have that here as well with the Judgment card, which this is a card that only really comes forward in a reading when you're at a critical point. You're at a critical point in some area of life, okay? And this is kind of like where I'm building this idea around a couple things are wrapping up here for you, Libra. And the Judgment card, it says you're like right at the precipice. You're like right at the edge of completion. You're very close to completion. The thing is, there's something you need to see, and the Judgment card delivers that epiphany to you, right? There's something in this scenario here where you need to see the truth, right? You need to see the outcome of your actions up to this point. And that is why the Judgment card is a card of karma, right? So this card can kind of be like you get results, right? You get to see the results of kind of the seed you planted earlier, maybe in this year, as we're here and we're in December, right? Some seed you planted earlier this year, or, some action you took earlier in this year could be all kind of coming forward, playing out for you here with this Judgment energy. It's probably connected to business and money, okay? As I look at this career, as I look at this here, we're not really getting a lot of Cups cards. We'll see what the clarifications have to say, okay? Now, in this middle column, you have the Fool, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Devil. It's very clear here, the Fool is a powerful new beginning. It's like all four aces in one card. It's probably the most powerful card in the tarot because it's ground zero. It's the hero, right, in the major arcana. The Fool, like in some respects, you could say you are the Fool, right, like in the story of the tarot. And, this begins the Fool's leap forward, right, through the major arcana, right? And, when you get this, it's a very strong indicator that something new is happening, okay, in your life, especially with the Ace of Pentacles there. I'm getting a sense that there's like a little bit of a, that's not the right word, drawback's not the right word, step back. Some of you are stepping back for a second, okay? Some of you are pumping the brakes here for a minute. There is a new start here, but it feels like there are some things you have to wrap up or complete. Okay, there are some things you have to wrap up or complete here. But the devil here is sort of you're pumping the brakes for a minute, okay? Not forever, but for a minute. And the devil is like, it can be something that you're doing that you know you shouldn't be doing. It can also be a toxic person in your life or a toxic person around you. It could be a toxic behavior within you, or that you are, engaging in a toxic habit that you have taken on. I say that with no judgment. And, with this devil card, what I'm seeing here is that there are a few things that don't fit for where you want to see yourself here going forward in the future. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. There are a few things that you have that don't fit. Okay? And, here we are, right? Final month of the year. Many people in this month like to do that, what is that? Like setting those New Year's resolutions, right? Which are fine. But this is going to be like a time where, people are like looking to the future, right? They're looking at like the 2026. What do I want to make 2026 look like? Which is great. I kind of say this nonchalantly because you can really decide to set a resolution at any time. You don't have to wait till the end of the year. If you want to get started on this now, you can do that, right? Yeah, it's a little bit of a thing. But anyway, Libra, here's the thing. I think you're looking at, maybe you are looking at 2026 and you're like, okay, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and I know this isn't really fitting for me, okay? We're going to try to see what that's about, but there's a general excitement about this new venture at the same time, okay? So I know you can understand this, Libra. Like, both of these are happening simultaneously, okay? They're both happening at the same time. Looking at things you need to reduce or even just straight up cut out with 10 of swords, 5 of swords, and you're super excited about where you're going, okay? We'll see if they're dependent on each other. Like, do you need to cut X, Y, or Z out to get started? I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes readings are like that. In the future here, you have in the final column here, you have the Queen of Cups, the Strength card, and the 10 of Pentacles. All right. Love the 10 of Pentacles. That is a card that can really indicate abundance in the tarot. Usually it could be from like family of origin. That is like, the thing about the 10 of Pentacles is it can be like generational money, right? Money that's passed down through generations. It can be, this idea of building a legacy, leaving a legacy, building an empire, long-term legacy type money that you want to build for yourself and for future generations. These types of things can come forward when you get the 10 of Pentacles, right? But if that's not really on the table for you, this can really just talk about like, what are you doing to increase your abundance on a day-to-day basis? And as I look at this here, with the Fool and the Ace of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, this new seed you're planting, you're really seeing how it could eventually form into a pretty good timeline for yourself here as you have this 10 of Pentacles in the future. Will it be up only? No, because you have the Strength card, right? Strength card means it's a good card, right? But it means that there's something difficult you have to do, like this person on the card who has tamed the lion. That's not easy. Not easy to tame a lion. There's something difficult you have to do, but it's something difficult that you can overcome. You can seriously overcome when you get the Strength card, right? You then here have the Queen of Cups, which talks about your intuition. Let's see here. That could also be a person in your life. Let's see here, Libra. Let's go ahead and move into the clarifications portion of this reading. I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you, and then I'll also pull some tarot cards. All right. Energy on the bottom, you have Raguel, Waves of Healing. Be open and vulnerable as this will initiate healing and harmonious resolution. Vulnerability is a big one. Tough to be vulnerable, but yeah, it can definitely be enlightening, especially with people that you love and you care about and people you're close to. Vulnerability is kind of like also associated with authenticity, at least I would, right? People who are vulnerable are usually like, who are being vulnerable are usually authentic as well, which is like a big thing. But let's see what else we have here. You have Michael, spiritual acceleration. You are experiencing spiritual upgrades, move forward. Azrael, transcendence. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. Love this idea. These are strong energies here. And the idea of owning your story. Let's see what else we have. Okay. You have Orion, manifestation vortex, energy with unwavering. to manifest the outcome you require, as well as charity, pillar of service. Serve with a gracious heart and know that God is serving you. If you don't like that God word, that's okay. You can throw in universe there as well. That's okay as well. But I get a sense that this is a pretty strong manifestation for you, this Ace of Pentacles Fool energy, okay? And I do like the idea of owning your story. If you've overcome difficulties in the past. Everybody has, right? Everybody in their life at some point has overcome some difficulty, which means you're capable of doing it again, all right? And that's what I would say here about this idea of owning your story. I do get this idea of manifestation that wants to come in for you. We'll see if we get the Magician card here. But with that said, let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards. Libra, do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Do hope things are going well for you. We'll go ahead and shuffle the deck here, and then we will also, we'll get more details on this reading. Okay, split the deck and then go from there. Okay, you have the 10 of Wands, you have the Death card, and you have the Ace of Pentacles again. Wow. All right, so what is that? 3 10s? That's 3 10s. Okay. Again, 10s really, really are an indicator of completion in the tarot, especially as you have 3 of them. Okay. You could think of, there are a couple ways you could go with 10s, right? It could be a completion, could be an ending, could be a culmination point as well, depending on the way that you kind of want to look at it. As I think about that, for you, I don't know if, it's more so I'm getting this idea of cutting. Okay, cutting something out with the 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. And I don't think that this is an ending, so to speak. Yes, I know the 10 of Swords. Yes, I know it means ending. But take a look at this 10 of Wands, right? This person, they've already crossed the finish line and they're continuing, right? They're not ending anything. They're continuing forward. And when you get the 10 of Pentacles, it's like, oh, what? You build generational wealth and now you're done? No. No, right? So, you get the idea of what I'm saying here. So for you, it feels like, there are some things you have to cut out, but you're getting a culmination. There's like a culmination point that I think is sort of stacking up for you. Here, you're getting some really, really important information, I think, in this month of December with the Judgment card. Connected to your actions, connected to the past, I think, as the Judgment card's about karma. And here's the big guy as well, which I know some of you don't like, but it's the Death card, and it's okay because the Death card's about transformation in life. It's about a change. I see that there's a change in your career or business structure that you're looking to do here. There's a change in your business life or career life here. Ultimately, this is looking very good, but this is, whether or not this is happening in December, it's really top of mind for you, okay? And, as I think about this, maybe some of you are saying okay, there are certain goals I want to achieve when I go to work, and I need to cut out X, Y, and Z to make that happen, right? Or I own a business, I'm an entrepreneur or whatever, I'm not putting enough time into X, Y, or Z, right? So some of you here, you're transforming a part of that part of that part of yourself. Yeah, transforming a part of that part of yourself. Yeah, a bit of a confusing sentence there, but anyway, I don't even know if that makes sense, but we're going to continue forward. You have the 5 of Pentacles. I think you understand what I'm saying. You have the 5 of Pentacles. You have the Fool again, and you have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so double aces, double fools. This is a strong confirmation here around a new beginning in your money life and in your career life, okay? I think some of you are okay, so I see that there's a little bit of money going out. Okay, what do I mean by that? Spending. Why do I say that? When I say spending, I'm talking about a bigger expense. I'm not talking about your Amazon order. Okay, I'm not talking about going to a luxury retailer and buying a new handbag. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about spending in a different sense. I'm talking about putting money into, like, let's say purchasing a business. I'm talking about purchasing a house. I'm talking about purchasing a car. Okay, funneling money into the business that you own. Spending money on education for your career. Like, there's an element of spending here, outflow that's going on, that you're pumping the brakes on with Queen of Pentacles and the Devil. And that doesn't mean it's forever, but you're pumping the brakes on this here. I know it's very specific. Queen of Pentacles, somebody who's taking a discerning look at the spreadsheet, so to speak. They're taking a discerning look at the budget. They're taking a discerning look at the money, right? They are very practical and wise when it comes to financial matters. Now, this could also be somebody who is in a financial position, such as a loan officer, mortgage lender, real estate agent, financial advisor. You could be connecting with someone like that here, but there's an energy around that scenario that you're pulling back a minute, okay? Because you're really, really ready for something new here, but it needs to be done in a practical way according to the cards. Remember, you have free will over any tarot reading, myself included. My readings included. So just keep that in mind. If this is not resonating with you, just know you have free will over this. Now, the Five of Pentacles here, it is this idea of loss. Yeah, it can be a card of loss, like financial loss, losing money. It certainly can. 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords, like that could certainly happen. But it's more so the vibration of scarcity, right? It can be the feeling of like a scarcity mindset, right? So don't come away from this reading thinking like, oh, I'm going to lose all my money in December. That's not what this reading is about. Okay, it's more so like this idea of scarcity, okay, in your situation. So, or in your mind. Scarcity, it could be scarcity mindset. It could be, yeah, feeling like you don't have enough or feeling like there's not enough. Feeling left out in the cold is what you hear, and it's because you see these people are out in the cold in front of the church, right? It's that idea. Let's see what else we have here. You have the Knight of Cups, you have the Page of Cups, and you have the Two of Cups. Wow. What is this love timeline here sneaking in here in the in the final 3 cards of the reading? Interesting. Well, certainly, if you're just looking at this more broadly, right? Like, let's just look at these 3 cards on their own, and then we'll fit it into the rest of the narrative here, the rest of the reading, because 3 cards when you're pulling 18 cards are not going to say, make this reading. But the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups is somebody who's proposing to you, like, in some certain way, or courting you, like, hey, I'm interested in you. And the Page of Cups is like, okay, let's do this. And the Two of Cups is, okay, we're now officially a partnership together, right? We're partners, okay? So, like, this could be a literal 3-card combination of starting a relationship, like a pretty strong relationship, okay? Now, as it relates to this reading, let me just double check here. I definitely think someone's very interested in what you can offer. I think someone's definitely very interested in partnering up with you in a financial way, okay, or in a business sense. There could be some matter here connected to shared assets or resources as I look at this Two of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, right? So this could be through inheritances for sure with the 10 of Pentacles, or it could be through, let's say you're in a marriage and like there's some like divvying of resources and assets, or like, something like this here within the relationship. Like that could also be going on here. And more importantly here with the Knight of Cups, that's about courtship in this type of reading, which is like somebody's interested in hiring you, somebody's interested in what you have to offer. I wouldn't be surprised here. This is a bit of a curveball, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear that you're gaining some popularity here. Now, I also think that there are some things that you want to cut out. I almost never do this, but it was so bizarre that we got 3 Cups cards here to close out the reading. It almost never, like in a reading like this, that doesn't really happen very often. 4 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. I like this for you. That makes sense. Four of Pentacles is about budgeting and planning and preparing and saving. You can see this person's holding on to their money. That makes sense with the Queen of Pentacles. Three of Wands is expansion and adventure and growth as well. So again, this is one of these things where like there are a couple things here that where you're pumping the brakes. Like you're really excited about starting something new. It wants to emerge in December. You're really excited about it. You're pumping the brakes a little bit. And at the same time, you're trying to decide like, what do I need to cut out? Okay. On the bottom, you have the High Priestess. You don't exactly see it. The High Priestess is hidden, you know? High Priestess is hidden. You had that idea with the Ten of Swords on the bottom. It does say that maybe the best way to discover it or see it is using your intuition, right? Because it's not going to be in plain view. Let's see what else we have here. Let's take a look at the Kipper cards for you here, Libra. Okay, you have Privileged Lady, you have Occupation, and you have Great Fortune. You have Gift, Marriage, and Bad Health. All right, so listen, if you have ever had a desire to start a business, small business, or just business generally, be an entrepreneur, be self-employed, that's the combination you want. This is the author's self-employment combination. Occupation, Great Fortune, work for yourself. It says that you could have some great success in that. Okay, now this may even connect to, there may be another person involved here, but you know, yeah. More broadly, I think that there are some good things that are happening in your career. On another level here that's happening at the same time with marriage and bad health, like there's, whether this person's romantic or not, you're involved with this person in some way. There's something going on there to sort out, okay? To sort out. Yeah, with thief, wealthy man. There's something in that area here that you need to work through, okay? And I think some of you are thinking about this here. I like what's going on in this investment area here with wealthy man. This person's a trader. They're at the end of a successful trading day. You have gift as well. I'm liking this for you. On the bottom, you have official person. Yeah, that's somebody in a position of authority that can offer you something. So Libra, go out there, enjoy this last month of the year. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will certainly be talking to you again soon.